I don't know about you, but when I was growing up with my Wii, I had a lot of demos. I couldn't gather the courage to ask my family to actually buy the games, so I just downloaded and played a lot of the demos. Some of them were actually really good, and they were so good to the point where I actually wanted to buy the full game. But I never did. The demos are still on my old Wii, and every once in a while, I boot it up and I look at the demos to remember the good times of when I didn't have many games. Fond memories. Anyway, fast forward many years later, and now we have bigger and better technology that allows us to do great things with old consoles. Namely, we can get modding technology. So finally, after almost 9 years of wanting to play the full version of this game, I finally got to. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a review of a game I'm sure you've never heard of, Chick Chick Boom. Chick Chick Boom is a turn-based artillery game that has you trying to kill chicks on the opposing team through any means necessary. What a weird concept. This game wasn't actually originally meant for the Wii. Instead, it was a single-player Flash game that was created in 2007. But later down the line, they ported it to the Wii in 2010. I don't have any footage of the original game, and I wish I did because I want to see how different it is, but you get what you can buy, right? The Wii version was basically unchanged from the original Flash version, but it brought new mechanics instead. And that's about it. There isn't really much to say about the game's history. So, now let's talk about the game itself. This game is one of those games that's easy to learn, but hard to master. It turns out that there's a lot of strategy to actually get good at this game. But before you start, make sure to choose the color of chick that you want. Okay, this is very important and it helps you get better. And choose their hat too. Extra skill points. Okay, that's not actually true, but you know, it's for the swag. You gotta win in style, right? All right, first let's talk offense. Once it's your turn, a timer that's the color of the chicks you've chosen will appear at the bottom of the screen. And you get 3 options: a bomb, a weight, and the piranha plant? Maybe? I'm not sure. We'll just call it a plant. After clicking on one of these options, a dotted drawing of the object will appear. Now you just have to trace it. Tracing the dots will give you a score at the end. If your score is at 80 or above, you'll be able to shoot a target to get a bonus effect. And this applies for every option. Then, press the A button and watch the chaos unfold. Anyway, let's talk about the way to stop this from happening. The defensive side is a bit more complicated than the offensive side, mainly because there are ways to defend yourself and also prevent your opponent from defending themselves. You do either of those things by drawing lines. You can create lines on either side of the arena by pointing and holding A. This makes it possible to defend yourself or prevent your opponent from defending themselves. Just draw lines in the correct shape to block whatever it is. For example, defending yourself against a weight is very different from defending yourself against a plant. There's always some kind of technique you're going to use for each situation. To block, just draw a line on the opponent's side while they're drawing their defense. This can be easier said than done though, as you'll have to time it right with them to make sure they're successfully blocked. When drawing lines, you'll have a certain amount of time before your pen runs out. So optimizing your ink is extremely important. There's a meter around your pointer that shows you how much ink you have left. Pay attention to this meter. One other thing worth mentioning is that your lines won't actually become solid until you let go of the A button. This sounds like common sense, but sometimes it's not that intuitive. You'll know when your line becomes solid if it starts flashing. Obviously. Alright, now let's talk about special events. In each map, there are various special events that can happen, usually shown by a change in scenery. They'll appear as a smaller option for offense right above the weight option for both players. Even if it's not your turn, you can still play these, which is why it's very important to always pay attention. Let's start off with the lightning. The lightning appears in the form of a rain cloud starting on either player's arena. Once you draw it, you can shoot the target and get some bonuses, like a multi-strike green lightning or a red electricity orb that follows your cursor. It'll travel from where it is to the opposite side. The lightning will strike any chicks surrounding it. To counter the lightning, you just have to draw a straight line that goes into the ground. Okay, now it's time to talk about the themed ones. The city map has a UFO that shows up every once in a while. There are different upgrades for this one too, like the green Robo UFO, which gives any chick that fails to be abducted the ability to destroy defensive lines, or the red Barbecue UFO, which fires lasers at chicks while abducting one. Who came up with these names? Oh my gosh! Defending this one is actually really hard because there are so many lines you need to just save one chick. To defend, you just have to use horizontal lines to prevent the chick from getting any higher and getting any closer to being abducted. The Haunted Woods map has a ghost that can appear randomly. There are many different upgrades for this one too, like the green ghost, which has 2 hands, I guess, and a red ghost that is added on top of the normal ghosts to eat your lines. Countering this ghost is really easy. Just draw lines that block the path that the ghost is going through. If you do that, you'll be fine. Unless you have the red ghost following you around. Then it's way more annoying to take them out. And he doesn't even leave after. Like, get out of here. Come on, go. Go away. No one likes you. The ship map has an octopus that shows up sometimes. This one, as per usual, has a few different upgrades. Like a green jellyfish, I think, which warps your home arena by spraying goop on the screen, and a red crab? Okay, this is getting out of hand now. That puts spiky urchins in your arena. I personally think that this one is the easiest to defend just because of how simple it is. Just draw a horizontal line on the place where the octopus or crab or jellyfish is going to attack. And you're done. It doesn't even stay for that long either. Alright, so you've just heard me talk about how to play this game, and you're probably thinking, wow, this game sounds hard. Trust me when I say it's not as bad as it sounds. I really, really love this game. It's one of the most intuitive games that I've ever played, and you don't really need a tutorial to get into it. There are lots of games that have extremely complicated mechanics and ways to get around, but this one is just simple. Explaining it to someone is super easy, even if there's a lot of strategy involved. And I think that's what makes it so great. It's just so easy for all people of different skill levels to play. Yet there's still plenty of strategy for those who actually want to try and get good at this game. The one limitation that this game has for me is that it's a local game only. I know new technology might change that definition, but it's still annoying. Imagine going online on your Wii and joining randoms in a game of Chick Chick Boom. That's awesome. Sadly, it was never fully realized. Which, I mean, honestly, is fair. I mean, I bet motion control delay would have been terrible on the Wii. Overall though, I really do like this game. If you have the resources to mod your Wii or something else, I'd highly recommend giving this game a go. It's really simple, but getting good at it can be a fun and exciting challenge. And if you have 3 other friends to play with, try it with them too. The multiplayer mode is a ton of fun. And chaos. Anyway, that's all from me this time. Subscribe, please. I'm almost at 100. See you guys next time. Peace.